Hello and welcome to Learn English with Podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Adam. Welcome to the show. Today, we are talking about a fascinating topic that could completely change your life.
That's right, Adam. We're discussing self-improvement, but not the exhausting kind where you try to change everything overnight. We're talking about getting just 1% better every single day.
It sounds small, doesn't it? Just 1%, but over a year, those tiny changes add up to something massive. But before we dive into the science of habits, Emma, I have a traditional quiz question for you. Are you ready?
I'm always ready, Adam. Hit me.
Okay. The concept of 1% better every day was made famous by James Clear in his best-selling book, Atomic Habits. Do you know how many times better you become after 1 year if you improve by just 1% every day? Is it A, 5 times better, B, 37 times better, C, 100 times better?
Wow. Maths isn't my strongest suit, Adam. 1% sounds tiny, so I'll guess A, 5 times better.
Interesting guess. We will find out the correct answer at the end of the program.
Excellent. So, Adam, let's talk about this phrase, compounding effect. In finance, compounding means money growing on top of money. But James Clear says the same thing happens with our habits.
Exactly. If you improve a tiny bit every day, those improvements compound. It's like interest on a bank account. Good habits multiply, but unfortunately, so do bad habits. If you get 1% worse every day, you slowly drift down towards zero.
That makes sense. But the problem is, many of us want quick results. When we start learning English or going to the gym, we want to see immediate changes. When we don't, we get discouraged and quit.
Yes, and that is because of something called the Plateau of Latent Potential.
Oh, that sounds very fancy, Adam. What does latent potential mean?
Well, latent means something that exists but is hidden or not active yet. And potential is the possibility of success. So the plateau of latent potential is that frustrating period at the beginning where you are doing the hard work, but you don't see any results yet.
Ah, I see. It's like heating an ice cube. If the room is at -5 degrees and you heat it to -4, -3, -2, nothing happens. The ice doesn't melt.
Exactly. You're doing the work, you're raising the temperature, but it looks like nothing is changing.
But then, when the room hits 0 degrees, the ice suddenly begins to melt. A 1-degree shift, seemingly no different from the others, unlocks the big change.
Brilliant analogy, Emma. That's why consistency is key. Consistency means doing something regularly, repeating the action over and over.
I agree. For our listeners learning English, this is huge. Don't try to study for 5 hours on a Sunday and then do nothing all week. Instead, build a routine, a sequence of actions followed regularly. Just listen to a podcast for 10 minutes every single day, or learn 3 new words.
Yes, and to do that, you need discipline. Discipline is the ability to make yourself do things you know you should do, even when you don't want to. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going when you are tired or bored.
So, how do we actually build these atomic or tiny habits, Adam?
Clear suggests making them obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. For example, if you want to read more English books, don't hide the book in a drawer. Put it right on your pillow in the morning. That makes the cue obvious.
That's a great tip. And if you pair it with something you already do, like drinking your morning coffee while reviewing your vocabulary, it becomes part of an existing routine.
Exactly. It's all about systems, not just goals. Winners and losers often have the exact same goals. The difference is the system they follow.
Wow, that's deep, Adam. Focus on the system, not just the finish line. Well, speaking of finish lines, we are nearing the end of our 6 minutes. Let's go back to the quiz question.
Ah, yes, I asked you. If you get 1% better every day for a year, how many times better will you be by the end? You guessed A, 5 times better. Emma, I'm sorry to say, you are incorrect.
Oh no, is it 100 times?
Surprisingly, the math shows that you will be 37 times better. The answer is B. Because it compounds, you don't just add 1%, you multiply it.
37 times better. That is absolutely mind-blowing. It really proves that small daily actions create massive results over time.
It certainly does. Now let's recap the useful vocabulary we've learned today.
First, we had compounding effect. This refers to the process where small actions or gains build upon previous ones over time, leading to massive growth.
Then we mentioned latent potential. Latent means hidden or inactive, and potential is the capacity to develop into something great in the future.
Next was consistency, the quality of always behaving or performing in a similar way, or doing something regularly.
We also talked about a routine, which is a usual or fixed way of doing things in a particular order.
And finally, discipline, the ability to control your behaviour and force yourself to do things you need to do, even when it's difficult.
Excellent words for our English learning journey. And that's all we have time for today on Learn English with Podcast.
Don't forget to practice your 1% today by reviewing these words. See you next time.
Bye.